one point on that. So let's say someone has an IRA. Are they able to, and I think this is an important question because sometimes it's confused. Let's say that they have $100,000 in an IRA and they want to buy a $200,000 home. Are they able to use part of their IRA and then finance the rest? How does it work if they don't have enough to buy the property in their IRA? Can they do it or not?
They can. Again, there's rules to be followed.
Sure.
You could, I think the most common way we would see someone make that investment, $200,000 property, $100,000 in your IRA, you might have $100,000 personally. You might have a friend who's got $100,000 or somebody else who has money in their IRA. You can partner up, and it still ends up being a cash deal on the purchase. That's one avenue. It is possible to use financing within an IRA account. Now, the key requirement is if you're going to finance with your IRA, is it has to be in the form of a non-recourse loan, meaning for anyone who's not familiar with a non-recourse loan, you can't personally guarantee that loan.
Sure.
You as the IRA owner are prohibited from doing that. So your IRA makes the down payment. Your IRA obtains the balance of that loan to make the purchase then, and goes forward to owning 100%.
I think that brings me to a great point to you guys, Arnie and David. So there's consumers out there that just heard him say a non-recourse loan.
Yeah.
And have absolutely no idea what it is.
Yeah.
So, educate a...
Non-recourse loan means if you don't pay on it, that the lender has no recourse to take back the property, right, per se.
So generally you're getting like a private
which you're
loan.
not going to find that in most, of the 100 lenders that are out there. You probably, if you find one that does non-recourse loan, you probably like. I actually was at Scott's seminar, and I'm sitting in the audience, and the very first thing I say, as soon as I hear that, I email, where do you find a non-recourse loan? Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of, obviously if you're going to call a mortgage lender, if you're going to call a mortgage lender, you're not going to be able to get a non-recourse loan.
No.
So investor financing, obviously there's someone out there that says, you know what, do I want to use my IRA, or do I want to go out and buy it and get a loan? What are rates like? Educate. Got a few minutes to educate customers on, what it's like to get a mortgage as an investment home or a vacation or second home today.
Well, investment home right now, they just changed the guidelines. You can actually get up to 85% of the value of the sales price of the home for investment. You have to, there's different ways to do it. Can you qualify without showing rent against the house? But if you can't, we can show rent against the house. Obviously, if you've had credit issues on your personal residence in the past, it's going to make it more difficult to get investment property. So why are you out there getting investment property when you've had trouble paying in the past?
Sure.
So, are you using your last dollar to buy this house? Why are you doing that if it's investment property? Those type of considerations are looked at. Second home, you can't use rental income to qualify. Okay. A second home, you have to qualify with both house payments.
Income.
Yes,
sure.
Have to qualify with those.
Now, 85% LTV, they're still going to pay PMI though, correct?
Still pay PMI 85%, but so if you don't want to pay PMI, you got to go to 80%.
And what are rates, David? What are rates like on investment? Compared to, because again, it's always a misconception. People think that rates on investment properties are so much higher because they used to be. But what do rates look like on investment homes compared to?
Rates in general are extremely low right now.
Well, and this last week, oh my goodness, last week we broke records. I think for the lowest ever.
The mortgage-backed security market, which is controlling rates, it's phenomenal right now. And so rates for investment properties, typically they're going to be about a half a point, maybe 3/4 of a point higher than a normal rate. So you're talking about mid-4s right now.
That's awesome.
Second home is actually going to mirror what a primary home is, so you're actually going to get a better rate on that, which is why it may be something that you want to look at as a second home versus an investment property per se.
Especially if you're going to get use out of it.
And another thing a lot of people don't know, with a second home, you only have to live in the home or occupy the home for 2 weeks out of the year, so you can actually rent it out for.
You could do like an Airbnb or a VRBO. You can do a weekly type thing where that's allowed, because there's a lot of associations that prevent it. Exactly. But there are areas where you can't do it.
Exactly.
David, were you going to say something?
Yeah, Andrew, what I was going to say is, you and I work in a fiduciary capacity for our clients, and we want nothing but the best of the best. So when we have transactional law, you have Shawn here. When you have administration of an IRA, we have Scott. Scott also is an attorney. I'm kind of surrounded by attorneys.
You got an attorney sandwich over there.
The bottom line is that we bring in the best of the best for our clients. This is not something you want to just screw around with. This is not something you want to just try to put together yourself. Legal Zoom, get your own IRA. It doesn't work that way, okay? The reality of it is that you and I, we're very proud of the fact that we bring in the heavyweights, bring in the people that are going to get the job done for our clients.
Yes.
And we don't have to worry about it. and it's
Correct.
done correctly.
Well, and that's what, just exactly like the Diaz duo here. I mean,
Thank you.
Arnie, we've talked for a long time, and you guys have done an incredible job. We had another testimonial this week, and it's funny, so we actually get clients to give us video testimonials. So at closing or at some point in the process, and we've probably got almost 300 happy customers that we've done such a great job for. They've sat down on video and said, we did such a great job. We had one this week that you guys haven't seen yet. They spent more time talking about them than us. I was like, wait a second, this isn't a Duncan duo testimonial. This is a
I
Diaz
saw that one
testimonial.
guy,
Like we
since
need
I
to
got
we
out
need to reshoot that one.
I saw one of those. Since I got out of prison, I found God.
No, we didn't. No, that isn't there. So not true. Hey, although I will admit, we do have a customer right now that is sending us letters from prison that wants to buy a home.
There you go. That's
So a little
kidding.
interesting. So
Well,
the amount of advertising, they must have heard us on the radio in prison. I don't
The
know.
best
so.
of the
He
best.
needs a non-recourse loan.
I was gonna say, to the Diaz guys, we have to call for the credit for that.
All right, well, we continue laughing. We'll be back after a quick break here on the WUO